future machine is called the Mind Radio. And let's kind of get into why I decided to make this. I have a lot of family members that have Alzheimer's, and I wanted to create something that would help them in everyday life in the future. And I'm also thinking about them because now that we're all in quarantine, a lot of elderly people are alone and they don't get the stimulation that they usually would. They're not allowed to interact with each other, and they only have quick interactions with the nurses, and their families really aren't able to contact them as well, especially people with Alzheimer's, because they don't really understand how to work technology as well. And then I'm also going to get into the science of why I chose what I did, how it works, my machine, and also the plan, all of my drawings and my treatments and everything. And then I'm going to conclude with my final model. So let's get started. So let's talk about the science. So if you're not aware what Alzheimer's is a progressive mental disease that deteriorates memories and essential mental functions. And also, there is some hope, though. There is some hope, but I'm kind of going to talk about how this disease works and why it happens. So, basically, our brains are created out of neurons that kind of release these electrical signals to each other. And when they're synchronized, they create brain waves. And a healthy brain has a frequency of about 30 to 100 hertz, but someone with Alzheimer's would have a frequency that's around 25 to 80 hertz, so that's significantly less. And what they're lacking here is called gamma brainwaves. And we notice that these gamma brainwaves, they can be supplemented with a combination of visual and auditory stimulation. And this doesn't necessarily cure them. There's no cure for Alzheimer's, but it does allow them to make connections that they hadn't before. So it is helpful in everyday life, and it is a treatment that is being studied right now. So it's important to know that there is hope for Alzheimer's, but not necessarily a cure quite yet. So here was my plan for my radio. This was an original concept drawing, and I wanted to create something that would look familiar to an older crowd. It's a radio, you know, and I wanted it also to be something that could be helpful in everyday life, something that would also have a visual appeal as well. I wanted it to feel comforting, and I created this imagining that these elderly people are living alone or they're in some kind of home. So they usually, if you've ever been to a nursing home, they're pretty cold looking, they're pretty naked, like there's no personal decoration within the home. So I wanted to create something that could add to the visual appeal of their home as well. And basically how my object works is that it plays some visual memories and also some songs, some voices, and whatever really that this person needs to bring them back into the reality and to really teach them like, hey, it's okay, this is what's happening, like relax. It's kind of like a relaxing device, and the way that it works is that it detects the gamma brain waves and it can see when those waves are decreasing, and that really shows when an Alzheimer's patient is having an episode where they're just not there. So it detects when someone's not there, and it'll play a song, a voice, show a visual memory, project something to help and bring that person back. So here are my technical drawings. I actually did the technical drawings first before the concept drawing, which is usually not something that I do. But here's some ideal vendors. These are all with the assumption that coronavirus was not happening. So I did choose a lot of things that were online because usually I would just go to a thrift store and buy whatever I could find there. But I can't just assume a price of a thrift store. So I went online and I found these objects. A lot of them are on eBay or Amazon. And unfortunately, I just really can't afford this project with these vendors. So I decided to make a more realistic version of the vendors, and this is all stuff that I have already. I learned about how to make a lava lamp out of oil, water, and food dye, and Alka-Seltzer as well. That's kind of what creates that eruption. And I have some paints, I have some foam core, I have some plastic sheets. I thought about putting some bottle caps as like knobs for my radio. And I also have some glass jars that I could use to create my lava lamp. And here's some surface treatments I thought about doing as well. I really like dry brushing. I thought it really gave it a rustic look to make things more aged. And I also like painted patina. I actually have a patina paint that oxidizes, and you can paint whatever you want with it and it makes it look like metal, which is really cool. And I also wanted to paint in the recess, so like paint and then wipe everything off to kind of really bring to life all the texture that would be existing. So for my final model, I decided to make a SketchUp model just because a lot of assignments were happening at the same time, if I'm being blatantly honest. And some classes are taking up way more time than I had anticipated. But overall, I really enjoy my final model. So here's my final SketchUp model. I tried to incorporate the surface treatment as much as I could. I kind of struggled with the lava lamp on the side. It was hard for me to get the sizing right, but I was able to put some photos on the screen so it looked like it would be projecting kind of a memory. And I wanted to go with something that was like, oh, we had a picnic. Like, I wanted it to be a casual memory. I didn't want it to be like, oh, your wedding day or anything. So as you can see in the corner with the red button, it says gamma oscillations, and that um, increases the intensity of whatever memory you're trying to bring back. So that's something that would not be used extremely often just because it's going to be like a super strong visual and auditory experience. So let's move on to this is the back. This is the picnic memory that I was telling you guys about. And I just thought it was a nice, like, casual, fun memory to just remember. And I showed this picture because I wanted to show the texture on the top. I created an array so it would kind of have like this nice bumpy groovy texture. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. I was even able to put like a glass texture on top of the radio frequency and the photos as well. And that's the end of my project. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm so excited to watch everyone else's project and see how everyone else is doing. I hope you guys are safe and I hope you guys are happy, and have a nice night, everyone. Bye.